Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So first off, I wanted to say thank you guys for subscribing. I noticed about 30% of my viewers are not subscribed to the channel yet, and we're almost at 100,000 subscribers. So I want to urge you guys to subscribe to the channel. And we're trying to get 100,000 by March the 31st. I'm going to be giving away 2 Ledger Nanos, yes, 2, to 2 lucky subscribers. You got to be subscribed to be eligible to win. 2 Ledger Nanos, no strings attached. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 100,000 by March the 31st. So thanks to everybody who has already subscribed. We're doing quite well. Despite this uncertainty in the market, Bitcoin News guys pointing this out, up 8% since Cramer said the new theme of Bitcoin was number go down. You guys remember that clip? He also posted a tweet here on January the 23rd. Now that Bitcoin's down about 20% from its high, I expect a strong stand to be made, but it won't hold because not enough money is coming in. New theme, number go down. That was what Jim Cramer said way back down in here. And so, of course, considering we're smart enough not to listen to this guy, the contra indicator does suggest that Bitcoin was going to go up. And sure enough, guys, just take a look at that chart there. Bitcoin right now, as of the time of this recording, we're seeing a Bitcoin price of around 42,300 per coin. That has gone up, that has increased significantly since yesterday. We did see quite a rebound for Bitcoin actually, and it has now hit up in here. So we did get up above this shelf. Now it is testing new resistance right up here. So the highest it went was 42,800 per coin. And now it has dropped down a little bit. For my Patreon subscribers, I wanted to reiterate that I did update you guys a couple of days ago on a brand new cryptocurrency. These altcoins are still fairly low, even though Bitcoin has now seen its latest pump. So patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. If you guys are interested in what I'm trading this bull run, the market is starting to heat up, starting to look fairly promising. This is on the hourly, by the way. And, the Bitcoin price indicates that we are slowly moving up. Of course, a lot more work to do to get back up above $49,000 per BTC. So, I still think there could be more of a retracement before we see those numbers really start to fly. T-Analyst here is, got to put our expectations into perspective. But over the long term, guys, this is what we are to expect. So for investors, he posted this chart here, the 2011 to 2013 bull run, 2014 to 2017, we got 2018 to 2021, and now we're in the 2022 to 2025 bull run. He's expecting it's going to go into 2025. So guys, this is what it looked like way back when. The recovery phase, okay? We are expected to see this correction back downward. We saw it back in 2014 to 2017 here. You can see where this trend retraces, and then the trend, that slope goes up even higher. Right in here, you can see the slope moving up even higher, back down in here, 2018 to 2021. Slope moving higher, and then the recovery phase, of course, in all these trends once we hit the former all-time high, and then the blow-off top. So that is when it's going to get really exciting. Euphoria in the market. We saw it last bull run. We're still only in and around here, guys, so we still have not even seen that full retracement before Bitcoin really does blow off top and takes the rest of the altcoin market with it. Patience, patience, patience. I do say neutral sentiment, though slowly moving up. We were at, what were we at? About 51 yesterday. Now we're at 55. So that's moving back and forth with, the ebb and flow of these cryptocurrencies. Altcoin market in the green by and large today. We got Solana is up 6% roughly. We got XRP is up 0.03. So staying relatively flat right now. Other cryptocurrencies like Avalanche, though, doing quite well, up 9.7%. Unfortunately, for one cryptocurrency, and I know Kevin Cage was very active in the XRP community. Some of you guys might remember him. He's very bullish on a cryptocurrency called Casper, and some news came out yesterday. It was the IPWE partner news. They are undergoing Chapter 11 bankruptcy, okay? So this is the latest news, and for those of you guys who are following Kevin Cage or who might be invested in this particular coin, we have seen some bearish momentum for Casper. Not going to spend too much time on this, but for those of you guys who are invested, you probably want to know a case filed under Chapter 11 of the United States Bankruptcy Code is frequently referred to as a reorganization bankruptcy. Usually the debtor remains in possession, has the powers and duties of a trustee, may continue to operate its business, and may, with court approval, borrow new money. A plan of reorganization is proposed. Creditors whose rights are affected may vote on the plan, and the plan may be confirmed by the court if it gets required votes and satisfies certain legal requirements. So this is now what has happened with a company that was associated with the Casper project. They also have about 26,789.80 Casper tokens linked above in the balance sheet. This raises a huge red flag for the 25 million patent deployment. Will IPWE successfully restructure, liquidate some assets, improve revenue, get funding, and survive? They would need court approval to borrow new money. If then, would they see a successful deployment? And by when? Not looking good if this company is simply trying to stay afloat. So this is just one company that is associated with Casper. They're also associated with some other companies you guys can see down here. Unfortunately, though, it is taking a toll on the CSPR token. Kevin also posted this. What's going to be really bad is all the hate that Casper will receive with this IPWE news, a single application that never launched due to IPWE's finances. Apparently, IPWE kept all internal information from their partners, IBM and Casper Labs. So it's looking like they were acting on bad terms. We've only seen test mints so far. If IPWE does not restructure, survive, and deploy, this mint in the future will continue to call Casper a rug pull. So again, guys, another reason why you should be diversifying in this bull run. Do not be a maximalist for any one cryptocurrency. Again, if you want to see my picks of what I'm trading this time around, you can find them at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. I have decided to do it differently this time around. I'm not waiting for unreasonable targets, and I'm giving all my Patreon subscribers some resources. We're going to talk about some of these coins, looking to do a Q&A session live next week. So for those of you guys interested, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. It is only $5 a month, so just wanted to bring that up to you guys. Another interesting metric here, I'm a visual person, says the ISO GOAT. I thought I would share some graphics that illustrate a microcosm of crypto investors out there. So if you guys are wondering kind of where you stack up when it comes to being a crypto investors span generations, genders, and races. Here it says, here's the generation chart here, okay? So we got boomers in this palish beige color, Gen X in purple, we got millennials in green, and Gen Z in blue. So you can see investors without assets in crypto. You can see it's very boomer heavy, then Gen X, then millennials, but a very, very small amount of Gen Z. And then that balance does shift once we do get to investors with crypto assets. So you can see a lot more Gen Z, but even more so millennials down here. And then the boomer and the Gen X population does shrink a little. Down here, we've also got gender, females versus males. And I will link all this in the description for you guys if you're interested. Also by race, white, Caucasian only investors, and then people of color, it does say down here. And 0% is the blue of investable assets in cryptocurrency, whereas 1 to 9% of investable assets in crypto is in this light green color, and then over 10% in this dark green color over here. Some other interesting metrics here, guys. Casual crypto investors have the highest household incomes and most diversified portfolios. So in terms of the casual crypto investor, they are actually the ones with the highest. You would think that it would be people with the lowest maybe, or people with the highest would have the most in crypto, but no, it's actually the casual crypto investor does have the highest income. And then somewhere in the middle here, committed crypto investor, average investable assets is 155,748. So, just some other metrics here I thought were kind of interesting to look at. Crypto investors have a positive view on emerging asset classes. So investors without assets in crypto, only 32% versus investors with crypto assets, obviously up to 64%. And the answer here, I feel emerging asset classes are going to become mainstream in the future. Then it gets more beneficial here. Emerging asset classes have inherent benefits that traditional investments do not. And then finally over here, I believe emerging asset classes are overall less risky than traditional asset classes. So everybody still thinks by and large that, or on average, I guess, that these investments are still risky, but we are the types of people who are willing to take this risk. So some interesting statistics here from the ISO GOAT. I thought I'd bring this to you guys on a Sunday. Let's go back here. The price of XRP, which I guess we should take a look at too. It is slowly rebounding along with Bitcoin, still trading at about 53 cents though. So like I was saying, Bitcoin still the big mover in the market right now, but altcoins, as you guys can see here, the Bitcoin dominance still hovering at about 51%. Altcoins aren't really catching up. We've been getting some other news too, guys, with regards to those Bitcoin spot ETFs. Vanguard is actually saying they're not going to introduce a Bitcoin spot ETF. This one courtesy of Michael Branch. Down here it says Vanguard's decision to abstain from the crypto frenzy is rooted in a rigorous and meticulous process that guides every product launch at the firm. This process involves four crucial screens: investment merit, client needs, competitive advantage, and feasibility. The company carefully assesses whether an investment product possesses enduring merit and caters to its clients' needs. So they did a Q&A session, and apparently Vanguard is saying, we just don't need this right now. Andrew Kajeski, head of brokerage and investment at Vanguard, emphasizes that Vanguard's mission revolves around putting the interests of its investor owners first. The majority of these investors are long-term buy and hold investors, and Vanguard's structure and product offerings are carefully aligned with those particular investors. Just down here, Vanguard pointed out that the extreme volatility of cryptocurrencies exemplified by Bitcoin's price swings of up to 150% gains and 77% declines in just 3 years. So they're pointing at the volatility there. However, the double-digit percentage drops in cryptocurrency values are not unusual occurrences. The allure of quick gains often lures investors, but Vanguard's philosophy centers on helping investors save more, trade less, and maintain a long-term perspective. So it's looking as though they are staying away, at least for now. That is an interesting update, considering all these other firms are really kind of moving forward with their Bitcoin spot ETF products. I was really surprised to hear this, but wanted to thank Michael for posting that. Another one from Michael Branch, guys. XRP Advocate highlights key factors in the XRP Ripple case. So John Deaton and Paul Grual from Coinbase, they were having a conversation over there on the X platform. They engaged in a discussion that shed some light on some crucial aspects of the legal landscape surrounding Ripple's ongoing battle with the SEC, and they were bringing up the 1994 Second Circuit case Revac versus SEC Realty. And so Grual expressed his admiration for the case, highlighted a standout element that underscores the folly of defining an investment contract through an ecosystem access lens. Thus, Grual emphasized the court's stance on the Howey test, stating that the mere tie between investor fortunes and promoter efforts does not necessarily satisfy the Howey criteria that the SEC is really trying to push forth. Now, John Dean did comment on this. I guess I should bring up Paul Grual's tweet thread first. There's so much to love about Revac versus SEC Realty. That is the Second Circuit case that they're talking about here. But two things stand out above all others in its laying waste to the absurdity of an ecosystem access definition of an investment contract. First, how perfect is it that the defendants name themselves the SEC? Second, we do not interpret the Howey test to be so easily satisfied. If a common enterprise can be established by the mere showing that the fortunes of investors are tied to the efforts of the promoter, two separate questions posed by Howey: whether a common enterprise exists and whether the investor's profits are to be derived solely from the efforts of others, are effectively merged into a single inquiry, whether the fortuity of the investment collectively is essentially dependent on or upon the promoter expertise. So we brought that up. Also, finally here, where's the final tweet thread? And that's it. Okay, 3 of 3. John Deaton did comment on this when people brought up district court ruling. In the library case, my response every time was, read the Second Circuit Revac case. So John Deaton also very familiar with this. Library was a case governed by the First Circuit, and the SG case and Ripple and Coinbase cases are governed by the Second Circuit and Revac as well. So adding their 2 cents into this particular case now, we know Ripple is still in court. Of course, Coinbase is also still in court, so they still do have that in common. But the courts, boy, doesn't really sound like they are siding with the SEC for many different reasons. And so, just another little tidbit if you guys are interested in the legal proceedings there going on in crypto. I mean, it's going to affect us. It's going to affect our holdings. And I mean, now, even cases like this, right, with companies going bankrupt and the Casper token going down. Again, I don't know how many of you guys are invested in the Casper token, but, all this will get sorted out once we do have some more regulatory clarity. And in the meantime, a lot of this is going to be still very tumultuous moving forward. So keep your head up, diversify. Wanted to thank Michael for posting that. Another one, guys, from Michael Branch here. David Schwartz is about to unveil interoperable plans at the Ethereum Denver conference. So Chief Technology Officer David Schwartz is poised to share his insight on the evolution of blockchain interoperability at a new event happening in Denver very, very soon. This presentation is eagerly anticipated as it promises to glimpse the future of seamless blockchain communication, a cornerstone for the technology widespread adoption and functionality. So David's going to focus his discussion on how the XRP ledger is gearing up to facilitate a multi-chain ecosystem. His presentation at the XRPL Zone during ETH Denver will highlight the latest advancements within the XRPL framework, particularly the strides made towards incorporating EVM programmability. The Ethereum Denver Summit, scheduled for February the 27th, so it's about a month away, is expected to be pivotal for the XRPL enthusiasts and developers. Moreover, RippleX's announcement of the XRP Ledger Zone at the event underscores the company's commitment to fostering an environment of innovation and learning, especially with the imminent integration of the XRP Ledger with the EVM Ethereum virtual machine. So collaborators PeerSys are going to be there as well. Discussing interoperability, guys, on the recent updates from PeerSys Technology regarding the EVM sidechain progress, particularly the X-Chain Bridge public amendment, mark a crucial step towards the sidechain's launch. So, guys, more developments happening. We talked a little bit about that EVM sidechain. Did a video on that this past week. I will link that up here in the top right-hand corner if you guys didn't catch it. They talked down here about future-proofing the XRP ledger, discussing some of these brand new amendments. It feels like a lot now is being developed. A lot of these amendments are being voted on, and that is going to fundamentally change the structure of the XRP ledger, depending on what passes, depending on what doesn't. Obviously, people have their opinions on each one of these amendments. Nevertheless, David Schwartz going to be showing up at this conference discussing the benefits of interoperability. We know XRP, the XRP ledger, Ripple, has always said interoperability is going to be key for this new financial system moving forward. A lot of these banks know that the technology that they need to adopt has to be interoperable, and it's just easier for them. If everything just works together, at a point, they're not going to be using the old technology anymore. But moving into this, starting to move in to using a new technological processor, it should be interoperable with the old technology, and then slowly they can wean off the old technology as the new technology becomes more prevalent and up to date. So, discussing these concepts at ETH Denver on February the 27th, we will have David Schwartz talking over there. Cyprus Domenicor here, bringing this up, guys, with adopting new technology. Of course, the banks are realizing they have to, as I just said. This was also highlighted in this panel discussion. Listen to this.
Use cases which they already facilitate for traditional. So what the point I want to make is you're seeing traditional players in the ecosystem adopting the technology very silently and bringing it in and still servicing the clients.
So the banks, they're adopting the technology silently. They're not telling their clients what they're using, but they just want it to work. Obviously, they don't want to disrupt the user experience. Cyprus Domenicor here, though, adding, they do not want you to know. Why? Because for the first time in history, we, the lower and middle class, have the ability to front-run the banks and get in on this life-changing opportunity. Well, maybe for some, that is the reason. I have a feeling, though, banks, they're not in the business of explaining the technology to us. They just have to implement the technology, and they just want it to work for their end user. So for them to silently adopt, I get it. I think there are other reasons, though, why powers that be put out their pawns, their Jim Cramers here, tweeting out ridiculous tweets here when the market is down, dissuading us from investing in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Meanwhile, the price shot back up from 38,600 all the way back up to 42,000 within a few days. So yes, on the one hand, they do not want us to know, but for banks to silently integrate, I think there may be some different reasons for that. So wanted to thank Cyprus Domenicor here just for posting that. Also happen to see this, guys, from ISO 20022. Let's do it. What other types of entities have a treasury department? I saw this. I thought this was interesting. Ripple's Senior Director for Treasury. Now, he gives us this definition here, and I also have another definition up here, but what is the difference between finance and treasury? The key distinction between treasury and finance lies in corporate finance encompassing borrowing and investing strategies for corporate funding and strategic goals, while treasury focuses on tactical execution and management of cash, risk, and liquidity within the broader framework of corporate finance. So, difference in structuring for particular companies. Another definition here that I noticed, I guess I should say ISO 20022, let's do it, is saying, is Ripple officially a bank? I don't know if that is necessarily the case here. Let me read you this. When it comes to managing an organization's finances, it's important to understand the difference between treasury management and financial management. Treasury versus financial. While treasury management is a subset of financial management, it has specific focus on managing an organization's financial resources such as cash, investments, and debt. Its main objective, though, is to manage the organization's liquidity, forecast cash flow, and ensure that there's enough cash available to meet obligations. On the other hand, financial management versus treasury management refers to the broader field that includes not only treasury management, but also other financial activities like financial planning, budgeting, and analysis. Financial management involves making decisions about allocating financial resources to achieve the organization's goals and objectives. It also involves managing risks and ensuring the long-term financial stability of an organization. And then it gives you a chart here just giving you guys some of the differences between treasury management and financial management. But it's interesting, when I did a quick Google search for what entities have treasury departments, and maybe I should have worded that differently, the only thing that comes up is the U.S. Department of the Treasury. Doesn't give me any other results for corporations. I guess maybe if I go on the second page here, if I keep scrolling down. But guys, check this out. Everything has to do here with the U.S. Department of the Treasury. So I don't know, maybe ISO 20022 is onto something here. Angry Cat also mentioning that Quant also has a Treasury department. I don't know how many other cryptocurrency companies do. If you guys know of others, please do let me know down in the comment section. Interesting observation here from ISO 20022. Let's do it. But guys, this is the real icing here. Okay, Stefan Thomas. Now, this is an older clip, but I wanted to bring this to you courtesy of XRP Daily here on Twitter. Listen to what he said. They were comparing Ripple to the company Cisco back in 2018. And how big was Cisco? Well, let me play you guys this clip.
I often like to compare Ripple to Cisco because Cisco, they didn't need to own TCP/IP. They didn't need to make it proprietary. They benefited plenty by being the best vendor for sort of enterprise-grade routers. And so what we want to be is like the best vendor for enterprise-grade routers for money. And we want XRP to be the best asset for routing money. And so at the height of the internet boom, actually became the largest company in the world by market cap, just to give you an idea of how big of an opportunity that could be. And so for us, that's plenty big. And in fact, if we didn't pursue this kind of strategy, if we pursued a strategy like, let's say the Bitcoin maximalists, where you're trying to get everyone to use your particular currency and your thing, then the risk that you're taking is that some other interoperability solution does come out, and then other people are optimizing their solutions for that world, and you have missed the boat. And so we think it's very important to build for like an interoperable future where there is a lot of competition, because that's driving us to have very high efficiency and very good user experience and so on.
So Cisco, the biggest company for what it did, and notice here he said they did not need to own TCP/IP. They just needed to build the best enterprise-grade routers around it. And he is likening that to the company Ripple. Could they be the biggest in the world by market cap for money? Well, it didn't sound like it was out of the question back in 2018, guys. Sounds like Ripple continues to be on track to make this happen. Of course, the lawsuit still hanging over their heads, but they're making waves. The liquidity in this next bull run could help XRP adoption and the real world utility. Just some of my opinions, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. And guys, we got to hit 100,000 by March 31st. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. We'd love it if we could hit that 100,000 mark. And I will see you in the next one.